Hello, everybody. It is Loafy, and I really don't know exactly what this video is supposed to be about. Let's say that. Like, I don't know if this is just like a video to bloviating assholes or like just like humanity in general. But here is a good way to just like have a discussion. Or better yet, like here's the thing, you guys. The old Facebook account is it's a little volatile. It's a little volatile. You could say that. I've been trying to give people a break from that. I haven't been listing my Facebook on my videos lately because honestly, you guys, I don't think there's too many people who are going to take what I have to say in a very good nature. And for those of you that do, I am grateful. I mean, a lot of the things I have to say could be either like controversial. They could create schisms in whatever kind of friendships or relationships. It's just the zeitgeist, you guys. When people look at me and they look at what I do in life, and they expect that my Facebook like perfectly reflect that or something. It's like I don't know how you get that idea. I don't know where you get that idea. What do you use your Facebook for? I will admit that sometimes I do like oversaturate my stuff with some pretty gnarly things. Things that I think need attention, like the environment, police brutality, some things like that. And yeah, people can say anything they want about that. It's like, oh, stupid SJW, goddamn. It's like, fuck. I can have things I care about. It doesn't go to that extent. I'm not beating your door down for acceptance. No, that's not what America's about. I agree with that. But I can tell you that I do post things on Facebook, and I get really, really like dumb or like just alien responses. Like, are you even a human being? Are you like a person? What the fuck is going on here? People just like don't know how to communicate or something. Like, here's the thing. If you're gonna come to me and you're gonna be like, Lofi, you got this problem. You keep posting all this political stuff, and I think it's lame. I'll be like, oh, well, that's kind of a shame, I guess. What thing in particular are you talking about? And what do you want to talk about? Is there an issue that you want to talk about? Because if I am so like I don't know, if I'm such a blowhard that I'll post that stuff, I will talk to you about it. At least to the extent of my understanding of it, right? I'll be like, okay, well, what is it that you have a question about? You think one of my ideas is silly. Maybe I can tell you about it a little bit, and maybe you won't think it's so silly anymore. But that's not how it goes, is it? It's always people employing like really like slimy, surreptitious, you know, things in their conversation to just kind of keep it muddy. Just keep the water swirling so nothing can be like pinned down too much. And I can't stand that. Are you serious? You want to bring that into my wheelhouse? Oh boy. It's like you wanna come at me with something. You're gonna say, "Hey, Lofi, you gotta work on this thing," and they'll be like, "Okay, what thing?" And then they'll be like, I ate a breakfast the other day and it just wasn't good, and I think you got to do something about Denny's too. It's like, wait a minute, wait a minute. You brought up a topic, and you're not going to elaborate that topic. It's like, where did Denny's come from? Why don't you tell me about the problem you had? And then people are like, oh yeah, I got the better of Loafy when I ignore them. But what the fuck? Do you think I'm seriously ever going to talk to you or anybody else who like doesn't fucking make sense? Are you're gonna level something at me, and then you're just gonna go completely off topic? It's amazing. I'm not gonna mention this person's name, but I was laughing. I was laughing through it because it's like you ask a simple question. So you're this guy who's been around forever. What's your name? And then that person dodges that like 3 or 4 times. What's going on here? Something silly is going on here. I'm dealing with somebody silly. If you're on my friends list, I leave you on there until I have a reason to take you off. And if you're gonna come at me with some like bullshit, if you can't even stay on topic for your conversation, like more or less, you're gonna come to me and you're gonna accuse me of being like really politically pigeonholed, which I could be. I could very well be. I leaned very left. And if you're a Trump supporter, then you're gonna come into contention with me. Like the whole Trump thing is ridiculous. If you don't disapprove of him, you're probably not paying attention of what he's been doing. And if you still do approve of him, well then we're at odds. Ideologically. I you can't tell me a good thing about the guy, you know. It was silly, but somebody was like, you're just comparing Trump to Hitler all the time. That's all you do. You just compare Trump to Hitler. It's like I in particular try to watch out for that. I do. Like if there is an analogy made, I'll review that. If I really did that, if I'm like Trump is Hitler, going to put Jews in ovens, it's like I normally stay away from Godwin's law, you guys. When you do compare people to Hitler, that's kind of when you lost. And oh Jesus, you guys, the past I don't know, however long I've been alive, people have been using that shit ad nauseum all day long, every day. Maybe I just like absent-mindedly shared something that's like, Trump is Hitler or something, And if you point that out to me, and I think it's ridiculous, yeah, I'll call it out. And in some ways, yeah, Trump can be compared to Hitler. We can all be compared to Hitler. Hitler breathed air. I breathed air, but I'm not Hitler, Anyway, you guys, don't want to bring this guy's name up or anything, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you exactly the kind of shit that I deal with. So here's a copy and paste from Facebook about this little conversation that we just had. And the guy who had it with me is somebody who just decides to, like, bother me. It's like out of nowhere. It's like, here comes a term of endearment, He's like trying to call you by your first name and shit. This isn't the first time either. He's like, hey, what's up, blah blah. It's like, I'm sorry, have we ever fucking had a conversation before? And that's how it started out anyway. Long time ago. And this guy's always like, yeah, you need to tell so-and-so this, you need to tell so-and-so that. It's like, hey, buddy, those guys have their own channels. The people in charge are the people that you have to tell that. And I'm not your messenger boy. Like 2 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock at night. It's like, whenever. Just, hey, what's up, Loafy? It's like, get the fuck out. Do you really think we're on terms like that? Why do you keep talking to me like this, And you don't want to be rude, but it's like, hey, get a fucking clue, guy. This isn't cool. I'm not trying to talk to you. Do you see me talking to you back? Like, oh God. Just, yeah. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like after like months or something, the guy just messages me again. He's like, your political messages seem like spirit science bullshit. Okay. Can we extrapolate that a little bit? Either this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, and he's just using words that are like flying off of his head, or he's saying that I am like putting up either some kind of a supernatural or pseudoscientific claim here. I mean, what does that mean? Spirit science. Are you a fucking idiot? I'm an atheist. I am a very specific atheist that only believes in things that are, physically evident and logically rational. That's it, you guys. I believe, actively I believe, that nothing supernatural has ever happened. Right? Show me where. Show me a good reason to believe anything supernatural ever happened. And when I say supernatural, I mean the whole shebang, you guys. Ghosts, angels, jinns, genies, fucking booty dharma, fucking Buddha under the 1,000-year tree, fucking Zarathustra. I can't even say that guy's fucking name. I don't talk about this shit that often, you guys, but I spent too long in that whole realm, just like trying to debunk all of the supernatural shit, or not debunk it. No. That's a bad word. I just like made it a hobby, because if anything, you guys, you probably want to be right about religion if there is a truth behind it. So, yeah. Look at this. Guy comes in here, calling my shit spirit and science, and then just calls me Marcus. Like he's so fucking familiar with me that he's on a first name basis. He's such a fucking idiot. He doesn't even realize that my name isn't Marcus. But why is he calling me by my fucking name anyway? If you guys ever get the chance to meet me, I'll come up to you, I'll shake your hand. I'll be like, hey, my name's Mark. Until then, don't. Until we've had a proper acquaintance, this shit is garbage. Alright? I don't know who you are if you want to deal with shit like that in your life, but I don't. And you don't even want to ask me. Even more so, you're the kind of guy who will make the stupid mistake before finding out the truth. And I think that's what this is all about, you guys. Let's continue. It's aggravating seeing redo posts from someone of your stature on the net following such bullshit. If you have does this go over? No. If you have words to say, write them yourself. It's becoming apparent to the masses, and it's affecting your current group stature. Alright, you guys. So here it is. The biggest contention with Facebook. People will come to me and they will say, Loafy, look, you have all of these different things on Facebook and I disagree with them, and because of that, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to stop. You're just going to have to be silent on all that. And if you aren't, then guess what? I'm going to stop watching. And this is a real bummer. This is kind of a terrorist tactic taken to just hold you ransom, just swing a Damocles sword over your head. And if it does really get out of line, then I do have to do something, but that's kind of a shame, isn't it? That somebody would have to be silenced that way, that somebody can't just engage them in the comments with the good, you guys, the nice comment or the nice argument that leads people to change their mind. Alright, Loafy is a pretty dumb guy, and I've had my mind changed a bunch in the past. I used to be much dumber. much dumber. I was raised a young earth fundamentalist Christian. That's nice, isn't it? You're probably saying to yourself, oh wow, Loafy, things have changed, haven't they? Yeah, they did. And they changed through the Socratic method. It changed through discourse, you guys. Everything that's real in life came to be there through discourse, kind of, talking about the scientific community, that kind of thing. It is all discourse. It is the real way to get at the truth. So what happened? What happened, Loafy? Loafy came out and said something dumb, and then somebody came up to Loafy and was like, hey, Loafy, that thing you said, pretty dumb, right? You might want to get that checked out. And you go trump off, and you're like, how dare he question the Lord and Savior? We are going to come back to that guy with all the real answers. Because it is the one truth, hope, and the light, right? I'm gonna get to the bottom of this and show him really what's up. Boop. That's it, isn't it? The floor opens up beneath you and you fall down into the world of real facts, don't you? And that's where we're at. Now, I don't interact with anybody in life. So where is my source of this discourse now? It is Facebook. That's all I got. If people don't like the Facebook, there's a lot of options so that people don't have to listen to me. I will comment on other people's things every now and then. I'm not some kind of a shrinking violet. I am a prickly thorn bush, I guess. If you post something really gnarly, then yeah, I'm going to comment on it. Why not? If you post something gnarly on my stuff, I'm going to comment on that too. What's wrong with that? So the last thing I want to do is separate Cult Moo from its fan base. That would be unforgivable. But I would hope that people can judge me as a separate entity from Cult Moo, especially when they are this far into my inner circles as to where they can be part of my Facebook community. And those people that are already there, hopefully they understand this is the way that I am. And I try to make my points known, like if I do share something, I often have, something to go along with it. But, yeah. Some things I don't feel like I need to elaborate on, The caption is pretty much succinct enough. So I ask, because I'm number 2, I ask, who's Marcus? He's like, I swear you're Mark, aka Mac. And I said, ... spirit science. Like, I am intrigued at this point. It's like, I've been raised in, bullshit religion my entire life. What is this spirit science that you're talking about? Thus begins the fucking Gallup, you guys. Thus begins this, like, when you have somebody who is just elusive as fuck. You will not pin them down on an answer for anything. They'll just be like, all this. Meanwhile, you're sitting there going, were you making a point ever? And this is how it starts, you guys. Okay. I'm trying to get him to elaborate a little bit on this spirit science shit, right? I don't wish to be a dick, but your posts are causing a russus. And you're adding to the situation of an argument. I'm adding to the situation of an argument. Oh, no. I don't know if English is this guy's first language. So, yeah. I mean, I'll try to understand what the fuck's coming my way before I get too upset. So I'm like, what are you referring to? Right? So it's like, you've already come at me with these claims, right? That I'm like proliferating spirit science. I mean, come on, baby. So yeah, I'm like, hey, dude, what is this spirit science that you're talking about? And I probably was, don't imagine me being cool-headed in a lot of this stuff. A lot of times I'm like, okay, I know that there's like some fucking bullshit coming my way. So why don't you just let it loose? The disintegration of ideas, further imploring the generalized comic/popular idea. It diminishes your true worth in a way via social media. Can we break this sentence down real quick? You ever get the notion that someone has no fucking idea what they're talking about, so they just like throw a bunch of big words out? The disintegration of ideas, and like no punctuation here. Like we have to dig through this. Hang tight, you guys. We're going on a journey. The disintegration of ideas. Okay, so there is some kind of a. He's saying that we're like a. What's the word? Like a degenerate somehow. Further, I mean, that's what we're trying to extrapolate from this. Further imploring. What's being implored? The generalized comic popular idea. And then again, no fucking punctuation. It diminishes your true worth in a way via social. Okay, so are we talking about my value of my Facebook page? Because if you do follow me, you'll notice that again, the past couple of months, I've been leaving the Facebook page off. We're trying not to grow that anymore because it is my personal Facebook page. And if you're trying to get there, then you're going to see some shit. You're going to see the real me. And if I'm coming to you and I'm saying, look, I'm taking the Facebook page off the table. I'm not trying to do this to entertain you. I had this Facebook account before all this shit happened. And, yeah. It's just going to be the stuff that I want to post. And guess what? I think that the Dakota Access Pipeline is wrong. Yeah. I think that Betsy DeVos getting put into the Secretary of Education's spot, like, how can you defend this stuff? You can't. Which is one of the reasons why, like, I'm so convinced by those kind of posts and stuff. Because anybody who is trying to devalue that idea, they generally don't have an argument. If somebody comes to me and they're like, yeah, that fucking homeless guy that was shot by cops, it was really his fault. There was like 10 cops around and they all opened fire at once, but it was that guy's fault. It was the homeless guy's fault that he's dead. It's like, I'm gonna fight you on that. That's not a society that I think should be supported. I don't think that the world where people give this never-ending support to the authority, I don't believe that narrative. I think it sucks. And I think it's getting more and more apparent as time goes on. Disintegration, yeah. Whose idea am I disintegrating? Yeah, so, like, what are you talking about, buddy? You're talking about a disintegration of ideas. What a weird way to phrase something. And make no point at all. Like, somebody is just trying to confuse me with words here. But, just keep it simple. Use punctuation. Proper spelling helps. Again, I'm confused here. What are you talking about? After he's like, technically your own ideas are disintegrating. How can you compare Trump to Hitler when Hitler got his idea from the Trail of Tears, no worries, I'm Native American? Oh, look at that. Look at how he bakes it right into the statement. The things that I post, you guys, if you really see a theme, then you can probably see that I'm upset about it. This whole Trump thing, of course I'm upset about it. He hasn't done a single good thing in office. And whenever you ask anybody, even one way in which he's good, they just shut down. They just like fall apart. Because one, they probably don't even know. They probably don't even look at the news. They can't tell me what he's doing. I can tell you what he's doing better than they can, and that sucks. And if that's the way it is, then don't, like, what kind of response do you expect, buddy? So I'm like, what are you talking about specifically, buddy? Like, did I compare Trump to Hitler? Show me which one, and then we'll talk about that. Show me the post where I did that, first of all, because this is on you now. This is on you. You're coming to me with this contention, that I'm comparing Trump to Hitler. Now show. Now fucking show, asshole. Like, what world do you live in where you're just like, oh, I'm gonna go to this guy, I'm gonna say something dumb, and then I'm gonna pretend it never fucking happened. What are you talking about specifically? A multitude of topics you share. So it's like, okay, you're gonna be as vague as fucking possible, but you're just gonna be like, you know that stuff you post. I'm not gonna tell you which one. You know that stuff you post. You maybe should stop. You know that all that stuff that like has principles or morals or values or whatever. Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. You're a comedian, right? Get with the yuck yucks. Fuck you. Like, it's such a silly idea. Are you serious? Are you real? Are you like a real fucking person? I just fear. No. Okay. So I'm asking him to like pick one. Like, what is specific? What irks you the most about what I do there on Facebook? Because you still haven't brought up a single thing. And the example that he does bring up, you guys, is fucking hilarious. You just wait. So I'm like, hey, go ahead and pick one. And I'm like, especially via Facebook, well, why don't you pick one where I compare Trump to Hitler in any meaningful way? Because, like, he specifically brought that up. You know, that's the only thing that he brought up. It's like, how could you be so evasive when the one thing that you've said so far is like, pretty substantial. You're like, hey, you compared Trump to Hitler. You know, it's like, well, all right, fine. How did I compare Trump to Hitler? You know, I didn't say Trump is Hitler. Be prepared for Jews in ovens. You know, it's like, that never happened. Like, maybe I said he was kind of like, hey, watch out for the rise of fascism, that kind of thing. Because he's doing that. He's doing shitty things and getting away with it right now. It can't be denied. Are you kidding me? Like, where do you think he's doing good? See, that's the thing. All this shit right here, it's the most general, vague shit possible. And I could tell you a billion ways in which he's wrong, or a billion ways in which Trump is bad, but these guys can't tell me a single way in which he's good. Because probably what they do like him for is what they can't say. Like, that's what I get. Whenever people was like back during Obama and shit, not saying that Obama gets a pass, because I'm thinking, there's a lot of shit that he could have done a lot better. But back then, it was just like, this Obama, there's just something I don't like him, something about his face and maybe his skin, just something. It's like, I know what you're trying to say, but it never actually came out, Whenever anybody was like, well, what's actually wrong with Obama? First of all, they're idiots. They don't read the paper. Even though Obama had plenty of things to criticize him about, they don't fucking know a single one. They're just like, there's just something about this guy, something about the way his nostril flares out and something about his big lips, It's like, fuck off. The reason I know that you're full of shit is because you don't have a point. And that's what all these people want to do. And when I come to you, they want to go, that thing that you're doing, it really doesn't suit me too good. Why don't you stop that? And it's like, why? Fuck you. It's like, ugh. God damn, are you serious? Like, they go from 0 to 100 based on their own stupidity. So it's got more to do than just one, right? Oh, all these different things. Wait, so it's not just the Trump thing? It's not just the Trump and Hitler thing? Well, what else could it be? But he doesn't just get right to the point like that. Oh no, he's got to give me a little bit more of a runaround. Yeah, since you brought it up, why don't you tell me how I compare Trump to Hitler? I just fear you're. This is possessive. Okay, this guy's a fucking idiot. Can I say that? Like, I didn't proofread this shit, but it's like, God, learn a little bit. If you want to, talk about ideas and shit, focus on an idea, explain it, and do it in a way that you don't look like a fucking idiot. Because if you don't, You're not gonna have an audience with me. Why should I have an audience with you? Are you kidding me? Do I not give you that common courtesy? Well, let's get to the bottom of this. Falling into a repost of viral clickbait with a short sentence of how upset you are. Okay, so he's like, don't just post something with like a sentence at the top saying, "Hey, this is a thing. This thing upsets me." I say this thing upsets me, and I post a picture, and it's like, Loafy, how could you? It's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? All of these things. This is how Facebook is meant to be used. You share something, you pass it on. There's a button for it, buddy. Are you kidding? I mean, how much do you want written on a topic? So I'm like, hey, I say no, no, no. You're making claims here. You might as well justify them. I'm trying to. I know what he's going to do, you guys, because I've been in a conversation with a person like this a million times. It's like, you said. You were the one who said that I compared Hitler to Trump, and that's the thing that gets your ire up. Why don't you show me how I did that? And it's like, no, 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 no. It's not that easy, Loafy. We're not just going to like make a claim and then justify it. No. What we're going to do is we're going to give you a great big old runaround where we don't give you any answers. How about that? That's great. I should keep you on my friends list for that, right? It's awesome. Okay, so, like if you're upset, get into that shit. I have no idea what that means. Yeah, so I'm like, you're making claims here. Justify them. And then he's like, oh, I'm the one who started the donation of 666. So he's saying that he was a part of my Twitch stream now. Like, we've completely forgotten about this other topic because we're topic jumping now. Like, it's okay, Loafy, it's okay that I come to you and I say, Loafy, you're a bad person. Now let's go talk about wrestling. Let's go talk about professional wrestling. I'm going to come to you and I'm going to be like, Loafy, you're valid. Your ideas are completely invalid. But, there's this nice Sunday they have over at TCBY now. It's really great. It's like, whoa, hold the brakes. Hold the brakes, young man. Where the fuck are you going? Let's see if we can piece this together again. Okay, which donation when? What's your name? So, I'm trying to figure out, is this guy actually a part of my Twitch? I don't know. Is this guy saying that he specifically remembers the connotation of which he donated? I started in December of last year. That's when I started, doing part-time Twitch with my full-time job. So this guy's saying, a year ago, I specifically made this one quote, but he's still not going to tell me this name. And that's going to be something he's going to try to dodge the whole time. But I think he's just full of shit. It's like, if you're not going to tell me your name, then, why wouldn't you tell me the name? If you're such a big supporter to my channel, first of all, I might be like, this guy obviously has put some time and effort into, checking me out. I could have an extra, ration of patience to give this person, right? But that's not how it happens, no. All right. So it's like, oh, yeah. So now he's like, now for examples. So he's like, I'm the first guy who ever donated. Now for examples. You're supporting BuzzFeed, yes. Who supports BuzzFeed? Fuck BuzzFeed, I mean, unless they come out with an article that I've seen vetted by a million different other, actual agencies of some kind that have a source or whatever. What does BuzzFeed do these days besides, I don't know, put a bunch of Moroccan food in front of a bunch of Parisian people? It's like, I don't know. Last I heard, they were kind of a joke. Like, and that's the thing. It doesn't matter if I like come back with that notion. I'm just like, hey, what are you talking about? And I ask, what donation? Because it didn't come to me yet that he was like, I was the very first person who donated this amount. He's like, I started the donation 666. It was me. Like, who? Who was the person who started it? Yeah. Lofty claim. More lofty claims from this guy. All right. So then I asked him, what donation won on your Twitch? So then what does he post? He's like, this is a perfect example of you, Loafy, getting too political. You know, this is, like, first of all, gone is the me comparing Trump to Hitler. Okay, you guys. So here it is. Here's the picture. This is how Loafy is so politicized. Right? Who knows about all these things? Who knows about that gentleman over there? Who knows about that gentleman over there that's, like, horribly beat up? Who knows about, like, the prison population? Who knows about civil asset forfeiture? Who knows about, like, the devices that people use to monitor things where they shouldn't? This isn't like the FBI, but they will still monitor your personal communication devices because they can. So what was his actual beef here? Is that the picture up there with those guys in the police shit? Like maybe those were military police or something? Like, oh, Loafy, you're fucking so you're so sold. You're drinking the Kool-Aid. Those guys, they're obviously military police. It's like, what does that fucking matter? Are you telling me they got the photo wrong? Is that how it works? But other than that, this is like completely legitimate. Okay. I see why I'm so politicized now. So, back into the mire, you guys. Let's see what else we can decipher from this fucking mess. Okay, so I'm like, what is your name on my Twitch? You know? First of all, he's gonna come in here. He's gonna say all these ridiculous things, and he's gonna be like, "I was the first ever guy," you know. And I know the guys who were there at the beginning. So it's funny that he doesn't actually list his fucking Twitch name here. So yeah, he says, "Oh, they're technically army." Who? Is he talking about the picture, the like military police guy? Whatever. Is that really like a strong point to you? Because somebody like put an overlay that wasn't like quite matching up. Like, what does it need to be? A picture of like 5 corrupt cops holding signs going, "We're corrupt," you know? Does it have to be that? And like not just like staged either. It's got to be real. Those all have to be real corrupt cops holding real corrupt cop signs. It's like, is the idea getting past you? Do you not understand? Like, hey, guess what? That one picture where that one lady was holding all that money, that might not have been civil asset forfeiture either. They might have just been taking their fucking payroll to the bank or something. But the guy who was beat to a fucking pulp, guess what? Go check that story out, asshole. Go tell me how awesome they are. And that's the thing. The people who come to me and they're like, "Loafy, fucking get it together with all these posts. I can't believe it." It's like, yeah, you're a dick. You have no value in this. Just from you coming to me and being, "Oh, God, it's so political." It's like, you have no empathy. What are you? Like, you're just going to be one of those kind of people who goes off and lives a happy life while everybody else suffers. And then when you suffer, it's like fucking Monumental, isn't it? Well, fuck you. You don't deserve any empathy for your suffering. If that's how you're going to react to these kind of situations, I don't know. There is just like a world going on out there, everybody. And I'm definitely not right about all the things that I post about. But guess what? You're going to have to convince me if you want me to stop posting about something. And you probably should have a reason, you know? And it's going to have to be more than your ideas are disintegrating. Whatever the fuck that means. Alright, and then he's like, oh, they're attacking the army. Hey, aren't you into wrestling? Like, so I'm like, what? Who? What do you think about Vince's wife? Oh, you mean the one that fucking douchebag appointed into the fucking cabinet? She's a fucking idiot. Yeah, I'm like, who the fuck is this? What is your name on Twitch? Because he's being so fucking evasive. Are you kidding me? I asked you a plethora of questions here, and all of which are like, wrestling, military. It's like, you this is exactly the kind of person that I'm like, hey, there's absolutely no way I can know this person. Like, they make no sense. They're kind of fucking unhinged. And they want to come to me and say, hey, drop those values. Drop those values that fucking make me feel uncomfortable. Fuck you. Who the fuck are you? Some asshole who just comes to me and goes, hey, Marky Mark, what's up? It's like, fuck you. Why do you feel like you're so tightly knit with people after no time? You're a piece of shit. My point is, here comes the point, you guys. Get ready. Get ready to be demolished by this rationalization. 4 months ago, your shit was all geared towards your own channel with Pink building that up. Now you're me clogged with bullshit, useless political shenanigans. Useless political shenanigans. You see, that's the thing, you know? Somebody can just come in and be like, oh, your shit is useless shenanigans. Like, what do you... It's nice that you don't have to point anything out. Because if you did point one of the things out, I could fucking probably call you a monster. You're like, oh yeah, I think it's great police beat up on people. I'd be like, yeah, you're a fucking monster. What do you want from me? I think you're disgusting. Get out of my life. What? If you're telling me that the Dakota Access Pipeline needs to get put through, I would go, are you fucking nuts? That's completely indefensible. It's like, there are so many things that I post that seem like they are fucking indefensible. It's like, how do you explain this shit? I don't really have an answer for you. This is all the answer you get. You get somebody private messaging you, fucking just ribbling on about, like, nothing. Just like, hey, just stop that stuff. But, you know, we're still cool, right? You know, we can still do things together, right? It's like, eat a bag of dicks. Thank you for showing me how much of a piece of shit you are. If you want to get me off of your friends book, Facebook friends, you know, that's all you got to do. Just come to me and be like, hey, Loafy, this idea that you got, it's shit. You know, it's absolute garbage. I might ask you why. And if you come back with something like this, yeah, bye. What reason do I have to know you again? You're gonna fucking bother me by going, hey, I got a great idea. Why don't you tell Pink? It's like, fuck you. You tell Pink. I'm not getting an inside track for your awesome idea. If it's good enough on its own, then you can tell it to him. And he'll be like, yeah, that's a good idea. But obviously you don't have those, do you? So you gotta keep bothering me. Fantastic. I was one of Colt's first 500s. So I'm like, I don't think you've been paying attention. What is your Twitch name? Like, this is the third time I've asked. You know? It's like, what's going on here? This is stupid. Actually, this is the fourth time I've asked. So he's like, subs, that is. You know, it's like, oh, you're just intentionally dodging my question. So I'm like, you must think I'm here to take advice or something. How about fuck off? So that's where I thought it would end. How ridiculous. So then he comes back under this other like sock account, because that's fucking great, right? He's already got a sock account set up, so he is like a professional troll at this point, and that's an interesting concept. Like he just has this other account set up, so it's like you know that they can't be taken seriously if that shit is the case, because this is just the account that they have revved up to fucking troll about 50 other people. Because what is this guy here to do? You're coming to me and you're like, hey, your ideas are bad, and then you're gonna spit venom at me? I am saying that this shit right here is completely unacceptable. Alright? If you engage in conduct with people like this, don't expect to have friends, you know? Don't even expect people to fucking understand you. Are you looking at this shit? It's crazy. But, yeah. I know that it was all worth it. Because I won't have to talk to this guy cordially ever again. And that's lovely. See you later, everybody.